It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And when I say feel good, I mean that with all of me, because in the building we've got Anslin, who's a dynamic artist and performer who gained national recognition as a finalist on The Voice South Africa Season 3, where his powerful vocals and charismatic stage presence just captivated audiences across Mzansi. Now, beyond his television success, he's also released music that resonates so deeply with themes of faith and resilience. So please help me in giving him a feel-good welcome. Yes, Anslin, welcome.
Thank you so much. So lovely to be back.
Yes. A little early?
Very early.
Okay.
I was just saying to you in the dressing room, this breakfast television demands so much of us, but I love being here.
And you show up every time. I mean, look at the fit, look at the material. We love to see it. But let's talk a little bit more about an album that you blessed us with last year, about July. So we're almost coming onto a year of its release. It was called Evolve, which is such a beautiful name in and of itself. So take me through that journey about that personal statement. What really inspired it?
Well, Evolve was such a personal thing for me. I think as an artist and as humans, I think we aspire to become better all the time. Yeah. And as much as evolution, according to Darwin, is how humanity progressed over time, I think evolution in music for me was a full circle, and I think it was important for me to put forth a product that sort of captured that very essence of evolving as an artist, as an individual. And so the concept of Evolve was basically telling a story of my journey in faith, my journey with Christ, how there were times where I didn't want it, where I thought he had left me, but it was there all along. So it was literally a full circle moment. So for every person who has experienced some sort of affliction, some sort of issue with their faith, having their resilience tested, having their backs pushed against the wall, this album has a song for everybody. It encourages people, it uplifts them, and it's just a breath of fresh air, I think, from a musical perspective and also the lyrical content.
I love that. Well, let's talk a bit about your creative process, because like you said, when you're being tested on your faith and your resilience, the highs and the lows are crazy. But how do you still maintain creativity throughout this and come up with a wonderful album at the end of it?
Yeah, I think Scripture teaches us that the gift is irrevocable. The gift will always be there, regardless of the tests that we are facing, regardless of the highs or the lows. The gift is irrevocable. So we'll always have sort of access to our creativity. And so the willingness to create is obviously sparked by what we experienced during that time. And I think it is so important that we understand that just because we are stuck in a certain season doesn't mean that ends or halts our creative process. And so whatever it is that you are experiencing in that time, allow that to sort of be the catalyst for how you produce and how you create. So we create in pain, we create in happy moments, we create when there's nothing, we create when there's everything. The important thing is to stay creative. And I think that's been sort of the spark for me all the time.
Wow, can I just say we've made the right person famous? Because yes, give him a platform and then give him a bigger platform. That is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so
I've
much.
never really considered it in that perspective. So thank you for that. I received that. Let's talk about your giftings though, because if there's one thing about Anslin, he's multi-talented, all right?
Man.
Paddle. Your journey of padel. Let's talk a little bit more about this. What really sparked you to get onto that court? And you're like a pro now.
Listen, I try. Let me be modest on national television. We started playing in December last year. A group of friends of mine literally said, guys, we see this thing blow up on social media. Let's go and test it out. And so we went to go and play one afternoon in December, and I've never left the court ever since.
Wow.
It's been such, and I said to a publication the other day, it has been such a sport of transformation for me. I just thought that it would be something fun. It's developed into something fitness-driven. I've lost quite a bit of weight on this journey unintentionally. I only saw it when we compared two pictures recently. And my clothes are fitting better. I feel lighter. But I think holistically for me, the sport has been transformational in the sense that I'm in such a good space mentally. I think my mental health has never been better than what it is now. Because I think there's so much being released, like the endorphins and all the positive hormones being released.
And also just honoring a commitment to be there week to week to week.
Absolutely, showing up. You know, on my way to the studio this morning, I said there's such a great sort of reward in showing up even when you don't want to. And I think a lot of the times we are tired and our bodies feel dilapidated and we just want to sleep. But there's something about that game that gets me to wake up at 6 a.m. and going, you know, let's go and knock a few balls.
I love that. And you have a coach now. So
I have a coach.
We're going pro, okay?
Listen, I play in an insane league with crazy talented people, the Ashwell Princes, the Gysman Gutierrez.
Speak on it.
You know, so I want to be better all the time because they make me want to be better. So besides the fact that I want to be pro just to, you know, show my friends a few tricks.
Come on.
I also just want to embody the sport holistically.
I love that. And they say birds of a feather. So
absolutely.
You are the company you keep, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Now I love this for you. All right, let's get into another thing that you're absolutely killing, and that is being a student. You recently graduated. I have to get this right. Your postgraduate degree in business admin and finance. But now we're moving on to the master's in commerce.
Yeah.
How does this complement your career? How do you even balance the two?
Listen, it's been such a crazy journey for me academically. I've literally been a student for the last almost 12 years. What initially started out as a journey of wanting to become a linguist, I loved linguistics. I thought, you know, language is my passion. I love the art of language. I love establishing, you know, spaces that sort of evolves language, you know. And then my love grew for numbers, and I've fell in love with numbers, and I changed direction completely, and so that landed me the postgrad in business admin and finance, specializing in analytics and informatics.
Come on.
And now I'm at that point where I feel like I need to make my mark in the academic sphere in commerce, and so hopefully I'm currently doing my dissertation on employee satisfaction in higher education amongst junior academics, and sort of trying to find out how we retain them, how we sort of sustain that competitive advantage between other institutions across South Africa. And hopefully one day I'll get to design a model of employee value proposition at PhD level that can sort of benchmark how we attract, retain, and engage and keep employees.
Expressive, are you hearing? Are you hearing this? Is it just me? This man is an absolute superstar. Adding value, adding so much impact into the world, not only through his gospel and beautiful music that you bring, but also in the education space, which, let's be honest, is one of the most important spaces that you can work in. We're going to touch on your event a little bit later because, of course, we want to know all the details around Mother's Day. But Anslin, come on, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend is in the building.